And a lot of Black women would say, why do you call him daddy? Because he's raising me. He's raising me. My father probably stopped giving me what I needed when I was around 13 years old. Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna make me grow up?
To call your partner daddy might seem very strange, but actually it's quite common. There's a reason why sugar daddies are called sugar daddies. And it was only a few years ago where there was a trend where we used to call attractive young men zaddy. But there is also a reason why it makes us feel uncomfortable. It's because it's inappropriate. A father and a husband are two distinct roles that feel incestuous when there is crossover, which is why we feel a sort of dissonance when these two ideas are placed together. Monique states the reason she calls her husband daddy quite transparently. She never got a parental figure that gave her what she needed as a child to facilitate her development. According to child psychology, children need an authoritative figure to help give them a sense of structure, a sense of boundaries, and the feeling of safety. Sometimes when we don't get that, we tend to always yearn for it. So this is why she has parentified her partner. And so many of us do the same thing. Have you ever heard of someone say, I married my mum, or I married my dad? We search for these parental characteristics in our partners when we haven't had the developmental needs met in our childhood. But the next few sets of clips show us why this can be dangerous and dysfunctional in a relationship.
When we were just best friends and when we got together, this is what he said to me. He said, when we were best friends and you were married to other men, you were not my responsibility. You were my sister, but not my responsibility. As my wife, you are my responsibility. And there are certain things that will not be tolerated, will not be accepted, So it was my husband that grew me up. And even at 55 years old, there's still times where he has to say, come on, let's talk. And I'm grateful for that because it makes me a better mother. It makes me a better friend. It makes me a better entertainer. And it was that man that every turn I made, he was right there, Janice. It allowed me to rub my husband's feet at night. It allowed me to get in that kitchen and learn how to bake a cake from scratch. It allowed me to be a wife and a mother fully.
We see here that Monique has allowed her husband to dictate areas of her life that as an adult is her responsibility to have autonomy over. She says that she has become a different woman because she bakes when she never used to bake. She prioritizes being a wife. Now, are any of those things bad things? No, they're not. Being a great wife and a mother is what so many people all across the world desire to be. The difference is that you should want those things because you desire them, because you've looked inside yourself and through self-knowledge and experience, you've come to the realization that this is what would make you happy. And the reason why this is so important is exemplified in Monique's own words. She says that she kneels down and washes her partner's feet. This is an extreme act of servitude. Not just the act in itself, but also the symbolism of the act, the subordination. This is atypical for couples. To wash a man's feet is to show that he is above you, that he is your superior. And this is where the danger lies in trying to find a parent in your partner, which can so easily become a dynamic of manipulation, where you become a servant and you become someone that is there simply to serve your partner's own selfish needs. Because I can guarantee you, when he tells his successful, rich wife to kneel down and wash his feet, it is to have power over her. It is to diminish her, and it's to raise his own superiority for his own egotistical needs. Partners should be equal. You should not be your partner's superior or inferior. If you see this essence in yourself, If in your own life you see where you desire to be parented because you feel like your parental figure couldn't facilitate your growth in the way that you needed, the best thing you can do is to reach out to a therapist, a professional that is regulated by an ethical board with a good reputation and good knowledge of child development, and they can help you facilitate that extra bit of growth that you feel that you need. It's normal, it's okay as an adult to realize that you haven't been given everything that you need as a child. And it's okay to go back and revisit those places where there is a deficit and add to them. The end goal should not be that you are an inferior that bows to another. The end goal would be that you are an individual that is able to exercise your autonomy, exercise your free will, and is able to make decisions knowingly and intelligently that will lead to the best outcomes for your life, instead of simply deferring all those decision-making qualities and abilities to your partner. Okay, that's all I have to say. Have a lovely day and good luck.